News flash, it's new comic book day. And that means that the Not So SPEC-ial Show is going down. So I'm clearly hanging out with the one true Nerd King.
Oh my gosh, dude, you have such an intro. I am like, why am I doing these things with you? I just like feel so inadequate right now. Like you had like a news update. Like, happy new comic book day, Phil. You suck. Hey, welcome to YouTube. So
the joke's on you because like I was on YouTube like 3 years before I actually realized, oh, I should probably make some of these things to like kick off. Like it was years of me just like not even doing the count. I hated the 30-second counter. I wouldn't even do the 30. It would just be like, we're live, and people watching would miss the first 15 seconds. They would just jump into me rambling like this.
Oh no, yeah. No, I get it.
Yeah. It takes time to figure out how this whole YouTube thing works.
Well, I'm learning now. Apparently, I need like an intro. So, I'll work on it. I'll work on it.
For those that don't know, the links down below for Instagram and YouTube, the one true Nerd King, you guys need to be following this gentleman. I'll tell you, it's been one of the delights of this last year, finding his Instagram, talking with him. We've done shows on Instagram. We were on his YouTube channel last time. Now he's graced us with his presence over here. The meeting of the kings has continued. We've got a pair of kings, a pair of jokers here, and we're gonna talk all kinds of good stuff. We got new comics. We got awesome trailers dropping. And we're gonna look ahead again at the books coming out next week and see kind of what's on the horizon. So
there's been so much that's happened these last few weeks too, and we've been pretty regular with our meetings. But the last couple of weeks between spring break and families and everything else, I think it was I think it was Sheena who she was just like, "Where the hell have you guys been? Like I haven't seen you guys in weeks. What happened?
It's been a hot minute. Yes, we're still here. But yeah, we're big spring breakers. We were in Florida, really just tearing it up.
Yep, totally were. As you can see, my tan.
Yeah, I was going to comment, but I didn't think you wanted me to let people know.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, it's either blue or tan like this. So I come in 2 colors. This is a British thing. So this is the skin of my people. I can't help it.
Anglo, yeah, I get it. I feel it.
I can't help it.
We got some awesome folks hanging in the chat. So we're going to say some hellos. Then we definitely are excited to talk a little Jane Foster here, because I know both of us had some very, very just emotional reactions to that trailer, especially if you haven't seen his reaction to the trailer, which is fantastic. Check his reels. You got to watch it. But you mentioned Sheena, and there she is, first in the chat, number 1.
She always is. She's, like I said, does a tree fall in the woods if, she's not there to hear it?
Yep.
No. Did anybody happen in comics on YouTube if she wasn't there to watch? No. Nope. So,
get on her radar, because that's what matters.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
We also got another awesome lady in the chat. My friend Jennifer from Comics Will Break Your Heart. Jennifer, good evening to you. Another West Coast homie. So I know this show fits nicely in with your post-dinner hangout time.
Nice.
We got Lane, the Unruly Simian, somebody who knows Vertigo and indie comics better than just about anybody I know. So always happy to have you here, Lane. JP, my buddy, saying hot take on Wednesday. John will be less than 3 minutes late. I was right at the 3-minute mark. I over under. I think you might have nailed it right on the head there. You got a good feeling about it. Sadly, didn't quite make it. Let's see. We got Jay. What's up, Jay Nunya? Good to see you. Good to have another evening talking to you, my man. We got officially unofficial geek in the chat. Good to see you. And I think that's all we got so far. Thank you all for hanging with us. And remember, we go back and forth on this. Make sure you're subscribed over to One True Nerd King, because we'll be back over there next time we hang out. Might not be next week, but we'll be, we schedule it. Things happen, but we try to go back and forth and make these chats happen as often as possible.
These are pop-up events, people. Pop-up events. So if you're not paying attention, you miss the pop-up event. I mean, it's like a sale. You just don't know when it's going to happen. But it's a Wednesday. That's the main thing. I don't know if you'd pay attention on Wednesdays, like we do things in comics on Wednesdays. I didn't know if you knew about that.
It's kind of a day. It's kind of a thing.
Well, that's what I've been told. So I thought that maybe hey, If it's that thing day, that'll be our thing day too. So just pay attention on Wednesdays because you just never know. That's the benefit of us. Keep you guessing. That's our guess.
Toby, happy 420 because you're the 420 guy. Good to see you in the chat, my man. Today's your day. It's all happening. And yeah, I got some fun figures. If you watched my Batman reels, I went spamming you with Batman books yesterday. You got to see some of the Legos and action figures. But let's talk about what everybody's talking about right now, because the trailer, the anticipated trailer, everybody been waiting for,
yes,
which apparently set the record for an MCU movie. The shortest time between trailer and movie release is Thor. They waited the longest time, right down in those last couple of months. What are your feelings? What are your thoughts on this Thor Love and Thunder trailer?
Well, I mean, the overall thoughts on the timing. I'll get into the timing first. The timing is wonderful because I did not want another No Way Home situation where all we're doing is talking about the trailer for 3 or 4 months, losing our minds over, but did you see the reflection in the glasses of the person's head that was halfway turned to the side? There's got to be somebody else there. Was it Doc Ock? Was it a different Spider-Man? It's
Mephisto. It's always Mephisto.
Exactly. Omega Red. I don't care. And I just want to see I just want to enjoy the movie, because that's the other thing too. Like, we've gotten so spoiled with these cool previews and Marvel having to keep secrets from us in the movie because we all read the books.
Yeah.
So we all have ideas of what could be possibly happening and theorizing it and spoiling it for ourselves because, this is what we do. We get in our own heads. I'm one of those people that just loves to enjoy the movie when I go see it. So while I don't say I necessarily avoid spoilers at all costs, kind of situation. Yeah, I spec. Yeah, I think about things. Yeah, I have theories at times, but I don't necessarily want to subject myself to it for 3 months, 4 months. So for me, this shortened period of time, I love it. And I hope Disney, Marvel keeps that cadence of sorts. Release the poster. Cool. Do that.
Right.
I don't care. But these previews, these extended previews, the TV previews, the foreign previews, the Super Bowl previews, the whatever it is, the web only previews, the one that you can find on freaking Snapchat. I don't care, man. I want those to wait because I want to enjoy the movie. I want to see it 3 or 4 times, not because I saw it 1,000 times in the preview. So that's number one. I love the timing. So yes, sorry, you triggered.
No, I love it. Because here's the reality. I think at this point, the original function of a trailer was to get people hyped for the movie. The problem is, or the reality is, does anybody need to be hyped for an MCU movie at this stage? Because the truth is, even their lesser movies still make a ton of money and are very successful. People want and go and see these movies, no matter what. So it becomes just a tool to remind people, hey, by the way, it is coming out next week. It's more. So in that case, why do we need a 6 month out, 3 month out, 1 month out setup? I think to your point, it becomes a waste of money because obviously advertising these movies costs a ton, but it's a waste of information. And I think to your point, I totally agree. They should look into this as a model. The trailer broke a ton of records in views. So, are they hurting in any way for not running it for the last 3 months? I
think it's just Marvel and Disney telling every single theater in America, you only have to survive on other movie welfare for so long. We'll be back. You'll be back in quality times, making good money again. It's almost like it is for them. How long do you have to spread out your paychecks, right? When you're going to get paid. So to me, a Marvel movie and you seeing the previews coming out, that's like AMC theaters going, okay, next paycheck is in 6 weeks, everybody. We just got to make it that long. That's the way it feels like to me. So
sorry.
Anyways, I digress.
No, I totally agree. So then
that's the only reason they're doing it.
What is up, Justin, my man? No Good Comics. Good to see you, Justin. So let's get into some of the things they gave us. You and I think, geeked out on the same thing. I'm not a huge fan of the band, but that Guns N' Roses needle drop, the look on your face when the music started playing, I lip synced to that in a talent contest in junior high. I think I was Slash, but what was your feeling when that music started up?
Well, number one, I am a nostalgia dork. I am one of those people that I am a young 40 something. I am 100% invested in that time frame. And those songs don't come around very often anymore, obviously. So when that just started to kind of come out, I was just 100% triggered at that point. Because I was just like, all right, I've enjoyed Thor. I loved Ragnarok. I like the Guardians of the Galaxy, because what that gave me was the vibe that I always get from a James Gunn movie when the Guardians are involved.
Absolutely.
And it's one hell of a soundtrack, right? And I felt like all of a sudden, like it was the meeting of those two kinds of. I felt Taika Waititi's like the awkward stares of Chris Hemsworth, and so I felt the Taika Waititi comedy, I felt the James Gunn music scoring, and I was just like, this may be like my favorite Marvel movie ever.
It's chocolate and peanut butter, moment, right?
As soon as that started to happen, I 100% was just like, this is it. I can handle this. I can with this. So yeah, that totally music caught me. That was. I had never done a reaction video a day in my life, and I'm afraid that I still didn't do that one as well as I could have.
So like good. Hammering. It was so good. I love it.
But I did. I don't know if I'm ever going to have that kind of a reaction to a song again. I'm just kind of like, because it just hit.
There's another Guardians movie down the pike here somewhere, so you just be ready for that.
Well, and it also flashed back to Terminator 2, like for me as well, because I remember seeing that movie, and I just remembered the Guns N' Roses, Use Your Illusions, all that stuff that was to that movie.
Edward Furlong driving around on his motorcycle.
Well, yeah, but it's another big jacked up freaking dude that's just a monster of a creature just destroying things. And so to me, it hit that nostalgia vibe of like hearing a Guns N' Roses song in a movie montage sequence. I was like, something's gonna get destroyed. It was great. So yeah. I mean, honestly, I was happy the entire way. And then all of a sudden the words came up. And I'm like, oh.
You could feel when it was ending. Yeah. It was
it
was a teaser, less than 2 minutes, right? It was definitely a teaser. What's up? Yeah. Sorry, got some people jumping in the chat. Jackson Roy Kirk, good to see you. Officially says it's something that other outlets have been doing. Can't get a Doctor Who trailer more than a few months or a few weeks before showtime. Shorter time, quicker to the theater. I agree with that. My man Perry, another great reactor, does great reaction videos on his channel. What's up, Perry? Good to see you. The video of me lip syncing to Guns N' Roses, it's probably a Betamax only kind of thing. That's about how long ago such a thing might have taken place. Kenneth Bird is here. Kenneth, good to see you, my man. Sheena said, Sheena said that was me watching the Stranger Things trailer when they played my favorite Journey song. I'll tell you now, that's Kate, my oldest. She was all about more Stranger Things, so she is with you completely. If you're in your early 40s,
100% watching that. I love that show.
if you're in your 40s and you love karaoke, you have sung "Sweet Child of Mine" in public. Just facts.
Oh yeah,
that's fair. Oh, yeah. Junior High John
and November Rain. You can't forget November Rain.
This is true.
Special karaoke.
Junior High John, much skinnier. That's for sure. Much skinnier. That Guns N' Roses albums 1 and 2 were pretty dope. I mean, that's the fact. Bronze Page says, "Hey guys, did John just say he lip synced Guns N' Roses? I need more of these stories." Okay, well, buckle up.
Coming soon to a theater near you, John singing an entire soundtrack. So yeah.
So let's talk about the thing that really seemed to take the internet, at least the community, by storm, which is that hammer catch and the ripped guns of Natalie Portman as Jane Foster Thor. Like, I mean, I saw the joy in your face. It was the same on mine, but I want to hear your thoughts.
Number one, I was disappointed back when Natalie left, or saying that she was leaving, because she was just kind of like, I don't want to be a trope. I want to be a main character. And you know what? I was disappointed, but I got it. Because I think not everybody agrees with me, but I think Natalie Portman's a fantastic actress. I really do.
I don't think anybody should be
professional.
saying anything different. Just that's my I can't imagine anybody legitimately watching a bunch of her movies and then saying she's a bad. She is so freaking talented. Just watch the professional people. Watch even as a kid, she had more talent than most actors. Like, come on.
She was oozing this talent, and to me, in my mind, I could totally get her saying, you know what, I'm a main character actress. I am a person that can save the day in these things and situations. And I don't want to just be a person that displays this one-dimensional help role every single time I get cast in one of these movies. And I could appreciate that professionally and even as a comic book fan. Like, you know what? You're right, Natalie. Get somebody else to just play that kind of trope, somebody breaking themselves in. You are great. And so when they brought out this situation for Jane Foster to become Thor, that to me was just like, oh, I hope she does come back, you know. But yes, then obviously she signed back on. And that's when I was all for this. I was just like, oh my gosh. Because Natalie is somebody that commits to her roles very, very well. Like I remember Black Swan, and oh my God, I thought she was going to die. You know, I thought this woman may die at any time, the way she committed to that. And you would see these pictures of her, and she was like, man, like if you respected her as an actress before, you better respect her in a dark alley too. If she walk up on her, because she may whoop your ass, because she looked jacked. And I was at that point, I was thrilled because of the way she commits to roles. She doesn't take on a crappy role. She doesn't pick. So that's why I'm not worried about this movie either. A lot of people are just like, oh, there's no preview because it sucks and it's not going to be great. No, man. They're just playing their cards right. They're getting smarter. They're playing smarter. And they've got Natalie involved in there. And no, they don't want to show her in every single shot. They're going to take her out of different things. Like, why? Because they wanted to build up the anticipation for that very end shot where you see her up close and personal. Like, she was in the comics, and it was so comic accurate. I was so thrilled. So thrilled.
Well, I'm glad to hear you say that. I mean, anyone who knows my channel knows we are big fans of the Jason Aaron Thor run. Like, love the God of Thunder, love the transition into Unworthy Thor, which does look like it's some of this story. Like, there's a whole bunch of sequences that made me think about him lost and feeling unworthy and putting the hammer down. And like, I love all that stuff. And then, of course, right into the Jane Foster stuff and beyond into War of the Realms. So for me, seeing that moment, I've got a ton of videos with my girls talking about that series, reading those books, and just being like, this is just badass. This is really cool. And I just, I geeked on it. I was excited for it. I didn't need anything more than that one, or I guess technically 2 shots. I thought it was perfect. Just the right amount of flavor.
Yes. I'm there for it. There's nothing else to say. The trailer, the teaser, whatever you want to call it, was great. And I thoroughly and happily ate every second of it up. I wish there was more. I can't wait for the regular trailer to drop eventually, hopefully the week before the movie comes out. We'll see. But I regardless of when it does come out, they've definitely whet my appetite in a productive way. So I can't be any more excited for this movie. Awesome. And you're talking to a Loki fan too. Whoops.
I saw that.
I forget that it's already mirrored. Yeah.
Well, because Loki, he is as much a part of the Thor universe as anybody. I feel like it's a little bit sad not to have him in one of these movies.
I kind of wonder if we're really not going to have him. I mean, we've never had a Thor movie without him.
Right.
And I feel like in some way, shape, or form, he's either going to be in one of Thor's memory sequences, right?
Okay.
Because you can tell too, like the part where you see him meditating, that was a very CGI looking Thor. It was a very CGI looking. So I'm wondering if we're going to be flashing back to other points in Thor, like being raised and him remembering, like kind of coming, like meeting the other gods that we know we're going to be talking to anyways. I feel there's going to be a lot of sequences, a lot of flashback sequences. We see him as a kid, as a preteen, very young adult to where he is now. I feel like that might be a situation where he's off on another world, kind of meditating situation. And I wonder if we're going to get a Loki memory sequence as well, just to make sure we're still, checking that box that we do for anything Asgardian when it comes to Thor. So
I don't know how much of the Thor Jason Aaron that you've read or had a chance to enjoy, because I will say, like, one of the cool things about the original sort of God of Thunder bit that he did with Gore the God Butcher was seeing what I saw in the trailer was sort of 3 eras of Thor, right? I'm just a young punk Thor. I'm becoming my own man Thor, and then King Thor, right? These 3 eras of Thor that eventually unite across time and space to battle Gore the God Butcher. So for me, it looked like Taika's take on these 3 elements of Thor's character.
Yes, I'd agree with that. 100%. I think that this movie, that's where we kind of get into like all the different ways the movies can go, right? So then all of a sudden my mind starts to do the,
and that's dangerous, right? Because then your expectations don't necessarily match with. You don't want to build your expectations up and be like disappointed that it didn't go the way you wanted.
Or I think I had a better idea, because I obviously would, but I mean I think, but no, I mean, in my mind, I can see where they're going with this. I can see the story starting to play out. I already kind of have like, I'm almost positive Zeus is dead. Why? Because he's the only person without an action figure that was announced, and he's Russell Crowe. So you don't cast Russell Crowe as Zeus, one of the most known gods in all of mythologies, plural, and then be like, and no action figure. He's dead. So I got a feeling Gore is going to be like.
I mean, that's the whole plot. The idea that Gore is a god butcher. He's killing these gods. And Thor is sort of on his trail across the universe to try to find him. So it would make sense that some gods that we meet along the way would fall under his blade. I
am geeked that we're getting Lady Sif back. I've missed her. They never did her justice in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Her going her own direction for the show that she did was 100% the right thing for her. I do not refute that. And I'm glad they didn't recast Lady Sif. I wouldn't have wanted anyone else to be her. But I am thrilled to have her back. That is the 100% like thing that I know with that casting situation of her being back in that movie. I will be happy about that. I'm not one of those guys.
Totally. All right. Well, instead of beating a 2-minute trailer to 30 minutes of content, I have one last question to ask. And it's kind of the bigger expectation that is sitting on my shoulders for this series. And it may just be that I've read all the Jason Aaron. I love all the Jason Aaron. I want all of it. And you can't possibly fit what amounts to maybe two Omnis in one movie. It's just not possible. No, so my question to you is, do you think we get more of this Jane Foster beyond this one movie, or are they going to try to do all of their Jane Foster as Thor storytelling in a single film?
I think we're going to get more. I know Chris Hemsworth is around for a while. He's not going to disappear. I mean, he's said up and down he wants to play Thor until he's dead, like physically, not dead in the movies, but dead physically. I mean, he will always want to play Thor. That's not a question. He doesn't want to go anybody of the other routes. He's a member of the OG cast that wants to be here forever, which is number one, fantastic, because it's great to see somebody that enjoys these movies as much as we do being in them as we do watching them be it. And not to say that the rest didn't, but I'm just glad Chris is having that great of a time.
Right.
In my mind, though, Natalie wouldn't have just come back for this one single shot at being a hero either. After all that she went through to potentially leave the series, to then just come back to be a cool blip in the comic book universe, I don't see it. So while I believe that it's not going to be like she is the permanent Thor going forward, because I think they're both going to exist in this universe, however it may be. We'll find out in this movie. But I think Natalie's going to be around in this role for a little bit longer. I don't think forever. I mean, Natalie's also an actress, likes to be challenged and doesn't like to sign on to long-term things ever since Star Wars. So I get it. Yeah. But just don't ask her about sand. I want to make sure in my mind that I am prepared that there could be 2 or 3 appearances of her as this Thor in my mind.
Please,
in the MCU.
Please.
That's my hope too.
I legitimately feel like this is a movie that should be focused on Hemsworth, focused on his journey trying to battle the demons in himself, these versions of himself, and Gore, and how that all relates. And in that, being lost and feeling unworthy, Jane could rise, and this could be a bit of her origin. But I'm really hopeful that her cancer story and her journey, it gets its own movie and is not crammed into what seems to be a very packed movie. Because that for me feels like a whole other story that I would really hope they set up but don't tell in this movie. That's my only thing I hope.
Yes, I can see that. And I can absolutely agree with that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they've got the space for it in this movie, right? Just because of what Thor has to go through and the development as well of what we're going to have to get of Gore, because at the same time, at the exact same situation, you don't get a Christian Bale to play a one-off bad guy like that. That's just, it's going to be killed at the end of the movie unless he's going to be epically badass. So, because you want to talk about another committed actor, he's also not going to be somebody that only gets Dark World Malekith kind of screen time either, where it's just like, I think he had 15 minutes of that entire movie. Tops.
Such a waste.
Time. Yeah. And I don't think you will ever see somebody as demanding as that man on any set settle for that. So in my mind, between the Hemsworth storyline that we have to get into, we have to unpack, we're going to have the rest of the freaking Guardians of the Galaxy there for a few moments, even if it's just for cameos. There's going to be some guidance, some comedic parts and pieces to that.
Right. We
got Korg. We know we got that's happening. So to me, I feel like the real dynamic duo is going to be Jane and Thor, Odin's son Thor. And we're going to also have Gore. So the Thor, totally 2 Thors and a Gore. And that's enough as it is, right?
I totally agree. Yeah, that's my hope.
Yeah,
that's my hope.
Yeah, I don't want the cancer story. I do want it because I think it's important. I think that you learn a lot about heroics at the time when you realize how much a person's sacrificing of themselves every time they try to save a life, they try to make a difference. How much of them is not just being sacrificed emotionally, physically, but like what their real life is being whittled away in that very moment. I think that is something tremendous, and I think that's something that Natalie can tell well as an actress. Absolutely. I just don't feel like if they do that in this movie, I would be disappointed. Would I be frustrated and super mad and like hate the movie or something? I heinously doubt it, but I would prefer her to have that situation.
My buddy JP, huge Jane Foster fan, and he wants the Community route, 2 movies and 6 episodes, 6 seasons in a movie. Like, he wants the whole thing, and I agree, it's a lot. And my bare minimum hope is that they get 2 movies out of this story for her, that character's story.
Yes.
But
I would love
move
to
on.
see.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and we're also going to see Valkyrie too. I forgot about that. Valkyrie. I mean, yeah. Sorry. So, can't even.
No, I'm excited for her as well, and being the leader of that community and how it connects to Jane and Thor's journeys.
Yeah. It's going to be an interesting movie. We thought we had a lot to cover in the multiverse of madness. Thank God we only have 2 more weeks to go.
Jennifer wants them to bring Angela into the MCU. She's going big with some of her hopes.
That is a big one, but at the same time, I mean, is it far-fetched?
No, not at all.
Not at all. I would love to see it. I would love to see it. I just hope this isn't the one where it happens. I would love that to be like a spinoff, like, like maybe that would be the situation where Natalie is, maybe Natalie finds her or gets her out of some kind of weird box that Hela had her locked in many millennia ago or something like that.
Give me that in the Valkyrie TV show,
Yes, honestly, or Lady Sif.
That. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, she's got
she's got
an opening right now.
Galaxy.
Yeah, there's an opening, so I'm down.
Zen says, "Imagine comics books will break your heart. That would be cool. I want to do my boy Beta Ray Bill. I mean, obviously, I think we really want him to appear, but this seems like, is that just cramming too much into one movie? I feel like he is an ace, and you can play that card at any point. So you play it, you got to pick the right moment."
Well, let's remember though too, we can see that Thor goes back with Korg to Sakaar,
right?
And that was where we saw Beta Ray Bill's head carved on the side of the building. I mean, is it possible? Yeah. Totally. Is it probable? No. But it's possible. We might just get like a visual cameo of him going by or something like that, or some kind of weird, strange, like, one meeting situation to just like get everybody freaking out about another comic.
Bale. Maybe they hired him to play Gore and do the voice for Beta Ray Bill, and then they could get him twice and they keep him.
That would be kind of cool.
As long as he's not doing the Christian Bale bat voice for the whole thing.
Yeah. I don't know if I want Christian Bale to do anything that has to have a voice besides just his own. I don't know.
He's not necessarily known as a voice actor.
Vengeance.
Toby says Thor movies are a multiverse where the actors speak with English accents when it should be more like dinga dinga durgen. That Norwegian, I think that was his impression of a Norwegian accent, perhaps.
Maybe we should go all like Swedish Chef. Hurty Verd.
Yeah. I love how in Jason Aaron's run, for those that haven't read it, like when Thor is talking or when Jane is Thor, she has a different font for her voice. So it's like she is speaking in a completely different dialect with accent. So there's a bunch of confusion as to who she is because nobody knows her real voice and her real appearance. She gets this long blonde hair, these big ripped muscles, but she doesn't have any hair and she's super skinny and going through chemo in real life.
We didn't know. I mean, we didn't know it was Jane at first either.
A ton of people thought it was going to be Lady Sif in the end, but
it was a shock for a lot of. I remember, it was a shock for a lot of people.
Totally,
a lot of people.
Totally. All right, let's get into the books that we bought this week. I've only had a chance to read a couple, so we don't necessarily need to break any of these down or spoil any of these. But how did we do at the shop this week with our new comic book day hauls?
I haven't read a single one. I'm not going to lie. I could totally lie about it, but I still have my stack from last week that I'm working through, and I have not had the chance yet today. Today was a crazy busy day, so I made a few too many posts, and I had a little too much work. So I did not get to read my books today, but I did get the ones that I wanted. There was one or two that I missed, but I got the ones that I wanted.
That's the most important thing.
Do we want to alternate? Because I know you've got 5, right?
I think in the end, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I got 7. I have 7.
You rule breaking rebel. Look at you.
I posted that I was going to get 8 and that 2 would be digital, but there was a book I forgot about, and so I made sure I grabbed that. So I think I've got 7 here. Sheena says,
I've got 10.
Yes.
I've got 10.
Reading. All right, so then you got to kick us off here. What do you got? Top of your list.
Okay, the first one I've got Slumber number 2 from Image Comics.
Let me do this and then give you the big screen there. There you go.
Big screen. Got to make sure my face is out of the way. Once my face is out, then all of a sudden it'll focus in right. So Slumber number 2. So if you haven't read Slumber number 1, this is Nightmare on Elm Street meets Zodiac Killer. Right?
Ooh, good combo.
It's a serial killer that can kill people through their dreams, and then an investigator that can kill things in dreams for people when they're paid. It is crazy. I haven't read
like
the second
Nightmare on Elm Street, Inception kind of things going on here.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes. So 100%.
I'm usually good about image books. I don't know how I missed this.
It's cool though. So check it out. If you get the chance, go to your shop. A lot of shops still have Slumber 1 around there. This is only issue 2. Check it out.
Creative team on that? Can you hook me up with the names?
Smith, Cardinini, Robbins, Wands, and Antos. I am not familiar with any of their work before this.
Yeah, I don't know this one. I'm gonna do the same, Zen. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, it was a even the rest of my Better Off Red team was just like, yeah, this was a left field team coming at us that we were very impressed with. That was a group read, and we were all quite excited with it.
Nice. All right, I'm gonna have to add that to my hunt list.
So yeah, your turn.
I'm gonna pick one that I think you've got. So I'm gonna play. This is like Go Fish. I'm gonna play a card that I think you've got because I'm gonna snag one from you. I'm fairly sure you got the nice house on the lake there. Hey! I was in the middle of reading this before we went backstage and went live. So I'm like halfway through the issue. I will not spoil anything, of course, but I will say I did not love issue 7 coming back from the break. It may have just been me. The break might have been too long, and I might have just been too confused as to how we left off. I needed to remind myself, like, wait, where are we at? What's going on? This was a better beginning than I felt 7 had. So I'm happier with 8 than with 7. That's all I'll say.
So what I did before 7 that I'm glad I did was I read 1 through 6 again. Right. So that way I didn't feel that way. And I have committed myself to reading 7 again tonight before I read 8.
Look at you.
Because it's just, well, because this series is so, everything builds, right? Yeah. And every single one of them has transcripts and clues. It's like a murder mystery thing. So dense. It is so dense. So rather than me sitting there and being like, I feel like I'm not getting something and I'm not enjoying it, I usually tend to read. I tend to do too much work, and I read an additional book for no reason.
Well, that's good on you. But this is one of the, I think, the best Black Label books dropping at any point. So you should definitely check it out if you haven't. I want to say there's a trade for 1 through 6. So people can read the first 6 issues and then jump into 7 and 8 if they're up for it.
That is correct. Black Label is basically Vertigo grandfathered in. So I'm going to do what you do, and I'm going to pick one that I think you have. And
Go Fish.
I'm almost positive.
I mean, I posted the books I was going to buy. How did I miss that? Oh crap!
What? You didn't get this?
Oh crap!
After all that crap you gave me every single week, guess who didn't do their homework this week, pal?
Shame. There's I need like a shame logo.
I need you to get me your daughter's email addresses so they can put like a shame on the refrigerator or something like that. Like, Dad didn't get We Live 2.
Definitely blew it on We Live 2.
It's not like this is issue 23 that you can forget about. This is issue 2.
It's 2. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Fumble. I fumbled that on the goal line there. Well, and I'm not even a sports metaphor guy.
Guess who's up by 1 right now, pal?
Wait, no, I thought you get a point if you guess it right.
Oh, come on.
What's up, Ruben? Good to see you, my brother. White Tiger. Yeah. It was a cheap move. Maybe I forgot on purpose.
Yeah, if that's the case, we're going to be having a whole other different kind of game after this.
Right?
like which books did not get by the other person. But yeah, that was, I am looking forward to reading that. But that's also because, it's very fresh in my mind too. Last time we chatted was when I read it, and it was like 3 or 4 weeks late at that point. So,
right.
And
it's again, another very dense story with a lot going on that I think you need to reread to keep up. So I almost feel like I'm going to have to reread both of the issue 1s to get into where I was.
I'm just glad that there's just one. The second one.
You're preaching there. I agree.
Yeah.
What's up, Jeff? Good to see you, man. All right.
All right, your turn.
I got you on this one. Because I know your brand is AWA. So Knighted issue 5.
Oh, yeah.
Did I get you on that one? Yeah, man, look. So I bought all 4. I bought the first 4 based on your recommendation, and I didn't read them. Now I got issue 5, so I can read all.
Oh, so you can go all trade paperback on his ass.
I can go full out on this one. So, firstly, the reason I bought this was I think you pitched it as basically Batman meets the Santa Claus, like a superhero who dies, and the person who finds the body or is there when he dies becomes the superhero, which is very Green Lantern-esque if you think about it. Like that's kind of how it can go down, because that's what happened to Hal Jordan.
But this would be like if Peter Parker without the superpowers, just this loser, nerdy kid,
right?
That's got not a cent to his name and doesn't really have the people around him that care, besides maybe Aunt May and everything else, finds Batman's dying body, and because he's in proximity, becomes Batman. So the man who had nothing is now as rich as fuck, and he's got butlers and he's got secret weapons and he's scared to death to use every single one of them. It's great. So I think that
premise alone hooked me, and I was like, okay, now I got to get this and just kind of see where it goes. I've been really enjoying AWA. I did a little video on Chariot, which was freaking amazing.
Yeah, I saw it on AWA's story. They were very happy to repost that, buddy.
Yeah, they were awesome about that.
Yeah.
So yeah, Knighted, I am looking forward to that. That's probably going to be my weekend read, just powering through 1 through 5. So thanks for the recommendation on that.
Another AWA for me is Primos. This has been a fantastic story. This is Latin Native American Avengers universe, kind of like superpowers, people coming into their own. I did not read this issue yet because I do want to wait until 4 comes out as well, because I really enjoyed 1 and 2. Yes. Okay. This is a 4-issue arc. I really enjoyed issues 1 and 2. And the one thing I like about AWA is the story. And I'm almost like you in the concept of where, like with Knighted, you grabbed all the other ones and you just were patient. You got them all, and you're going to read it, and you're going to get such a view of the story that it's almost better, right? Because all of a sudden you're not that long time in between, that long jump and gap to become, disenfranchised with the character and the characters.
I know you're a binger. We were talking about that before going live.
Yeah, we'll probably talk about that again. I have what you might say, an addiction problem. And I binge. But no, I binge. And so I am purposely holding on to 3 so I can read it with 4 next month, and probably then reread 1 and 2 at the same time. I've really enjoyed this series, and I feel like there's just once in a while you come across a very good series that you will wait on to take the entire journey. And this is one of those for me. So nice. I've really enjoyed that.
Is that tied into the AWA Resistance universe? Or is it a separate kind of thing?
It's a separate kind of thing as far as I'm aware right now.
Okay, cool.
Maybe I'll find out
to
more.
Add that to my AWA trade waiting list.
Yes, I believe the most recent and the only current, because they were doing only one current set into that universe at a time to have one storyline running, and that's the Joneses. So
that is tied in. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, the Joneses is 100% tied in.
Okay, because I read issue 1. I'm definitely going to continue reading that one. That was very good.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, good. I loved it. Yeah.
All right, so I got another indie here, but I'm guessing this is one you didn't grab. I've been enjoying this one. A little saucy, not so John comics with kids friendly, but this is Bolero from Image issue 4, and lots of naked good times going on in here. But for me, I'm more interested in the concept here. This has to do with a character going through a bad breakup and sort of self-destructing a little bit, and she has a quick one-night stand with this guy, only to find out that he knows a way for her to change her life. He opens this magic door to where this cat god says to her basically like, you can have 35 attempts to pick a different reality and live a different version of your life. It's still going to be you and all your same foibles and personage, but you might look different. You might have different things in your life that you're experiencing, and you'll have a chance to leave all the troubles of this life to find another. So at some point she's like in outer space and she's a dude. Another time she's like got powers. It's like, it's very interesting to see like all the alternative versions. And sometimes she's straight, sometimes she's gay, and she goes through all these life options. So it's a trippy, fun concept. It does feel a little rushed, but I'm still so invested that I'm really enjoying it. So it's a square bound imaged book, so you get a ton out of it. It's a larger format book, but I think they charge you a little more. Yeah, it's a $5.99. I've been really, really enjoying it. Clearly, Sheena is with me. I mean, there's definitely some that scene. There's definitely some blushing scenes. Definitely some not kid friendly scenes. But I love the art style. Luana Vecchio is the artist. Wyatt Kennedy is the writer.
See, to me, this sounds like the same thing I would tell my mom when she found all my Playboys.
There's great articles in there, Mom.
There's some great reading in there. I mean, if you look past the nudity, it's all about the story. No, I'm just kidding.
There's nudity.
I've heard a lot about it. I've heard a lot about it. I have the first 3 issues. I didn't get issue 4. I have not read them yet. I'm just not gonna lie. I haven't read them yet.
And sometimes I do that. Get that first issue, read the trade later on, or hear how it ends. People tell me it ended well or it didn't end well. It might change me deciding to get that trade or not.
That was one of the things where I've been kind of, like I said, whittling down like you know, like where we started having our conversations, and when we started doing our show, and that was one of the things I started to really kind of take away from the way that you do things as well in your collection process is really just kind of, you know, taking what you can digitally in those subscriptions, because that always helps for one. And for 2, looking at trade paperbacks, because, you know, once you get out of the first 3 issues, there's not a lot of spec on the reg.
Right.
You know, does it happen? Sure. Is it usually? Nah, not at first. You know, I mean, that's a little bit of a rare thing. Totally. So, I mean, if you're going for an investment, you've got the first 3, you're pretty safe to make, you know, if you're going for that kind of concept, that's your safety zone. But beyond that, then you're just kind of, you have to be invested in the story. If you haven't gotten to read them all because you're getting so many different things, you have to really start to make some decisions. So I like the ability to hear what other people have said. And so if you guys tell me, you know, between you and Sheena and others say like, oh, it was great, absolutely fantastic, you're going to love it. Yeah, I'll pick up the trade 100%. But otherwise, I'm just kind of waiting.
Yeah. And to JP's point, like, White Whale and I tend to be really hard on books when we're breaking stuff down, and he really didn't like issue 3, felt like it took some hard turns that he didn't enjoy. I liked it certainly to a lesser degree than issues 1 and 2, but I'm totally invested, and I think there's only 5 or 6 issues, so like at this point, I'm getting it. I'm finishing it out to see where it all goes, but I'm very much enjoying it. And I am not an Ice Cream Man fan, and I'll tell you why. I just generally don't enjoy anthology books as a concept. I like characters that I can follow through several stories and kind of see what they're going. I don't like an anthology book as a rule. I generally skip it. So I'm sorry.
I get Ice Cream Man by the trade. That is 100% something I've always done with Ice Cream Man, because it's anthology, because there's so many different little stories in it. You know, it can be so much more hit or miss. So I get it by the trade. I've got them like right up 3 of them at least right now, right there.
Well, it's the same with like Silver Coin. I've tried it. I just feel like I don't connect to the story long term because it's there's no character to connect to. It's just a theme.
Yes.
You know? And I get bored with it pretty quickly. But that's just me.
Exactly. No, I agree. So my other pickup.
I hear great things about this.
So I am a big fan of Animal Farm. It was one of my favorite books growing up. So this was a no-brainer to me. This was also during the big time of Stray Dogs. And so everything that had animals in it all of a sudden was like the hottest shit on earth.
Right.
So, the first one, like everything just sold out. It's like, it's just like, oh, animal book, grab it because it's next whatever,
Right.
But Ablaze is doing well with this. I'm happy with it. I have
what issue number is this? 3 or 4?
5.
5. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, we're on issue 5. I don't know if it's a limited series or anything. I've just been enjoying it. So yeah, it's been a good solid ride so far.
Nice.
I'm
curious to see the trade because I hear, like Sheena saying, the art is great and the story is really interesting. And
yes.
again, to your credit too, I like Animal Farm, the book, a lot.
Yes, this has been great. So I think you would not be disappointed in reading this book at all, especially as a trade.
Nice.
Yeah, this is the one Ablaze that I have really hung in there through for quite a while. It happens every once in a while, but this one, yeah,
I don't know what Shibata means. Nice. I mean, the covers are really cool. The concept is interesting. I'm definitely gonna have to get around to it at some point.
Yeah, if not, you can always borrow mine. I can send it to you.
I'll send Bolero, and you can send.
There we go. Well, let's do a trade. It's a trade. All right, you go next.
I got one indie and a ton of DC, so I'm going to go through some DC books here. All right. I got one that I guarantee you didn't have because almost nobody is still reading. Blue and Gold. I'm a Booster.
Is that Booster Gold and Blue Beetle?
It is. It's an 8-issue. Dan Jurgens, out of retirement, off the top rope, coming in and doing an 8-issue mini. This was the finale. It was the book I read first today, so I actually finished the series off and read it. There was a couple of really great twists in here. They brought back a villain called Black Beetle and revealed his identity. And I thought that part was really well done. In fact, I would say the final issue is probably my favorite one. I will say could have been 4 or even 6 issues. Didn't need 8. I think in general, I think this is a funny book. And I love these characters. I've always said I'll know that DC movies are on the right track when they give me a Booster Gold, Blue Beetle, time travel buddy cop movie. Like, that's what I really want them to make, to realize that not all their movies have to be depressing and dark, but that there are great characters they have that are hilarious. Give me Zach Braff and Donald Faison as Blue and Gold and make that movie, and I will give you all my money. Like, that's what I want from DC right now. And Dan Jurgens knows these characters well, obviously, and does a great job. There's a great Batman twist at the end here where they bring him in for just 1 page or page and a half. And it just makes me laugh. It gives me all the good nostalgic kid comic reading feels to have Dan Jurgens writing Booster Gold and Blue Beetle. So yes, this was very
awesome.
So
awesome.
And nobody else is reading it except apparently Chris Barrett says the entire Comic Corps is reading Blue and Gold. Then hey, I got to connect with those guys and talk to them a little bit about it.
Absolutely. So one of my next ones here is John Carter of Mars.
Ooh, Dynamite.
Yeah, I like John. I always enjoyed the John Carter series of books.
The original old school.
Yeah, I did. But and it being on Dynamite, I'm interested. So yeah, I grabbed one. See where it goes.
What issue is that? Number 1? Is that like a new series? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, brand new series.
Nice.
So I was impressed with them. It's like I can get back into John Carter. Let's see where it goes. But yeah, this is issue 1. So got myself a Dynamite.
Nice. I've only got 3 left. How many do you have left?
3, 4-ish.
All right, then you do another one. That was a short one. That was a fast one. I'll give you another one.
I grabbed my Something That's Killing the Children 1 through 15.
Ooh, all of the David Mack variants.
Yeah, so I've got all 15 now.
Well done. I went the first 5. I did not go beyond that. I probably feel like I should because there were some great ones in this new set.
Yes, I grabbed. Yes, I agree.
And I hear, and this is something I can't reference because I've never met David Mack. I hear in general, again and again and again, he is one of the best people in the comic creator world. like giving young artists and writers their shots time and again, promoting other people on their way up the ladder, and then just being super nice to the fans. Like I hear David Mack is just one of the best, period.
I have heard that through numerous people. I've seen him spend a lot of time with Skeleton Key, and doing lives and things with them, with Sammy and Tony. So I mean, I know he's also very active in the community too.
Right.
So yeah, Mac's great. Yeah, I've never had the opportunity to meet him myself, but I've only heard good things. Things. Hey, Moon.
Good to see you, Michelle. How you doing? All right, then I will go with the book. I generally save my favorite book for last. Whenever I go through my stack, I always save something really good for the end. So the last book I'm probably going to read this week, I posted this cover on my Instagram today. I love just Cliff Chiang, man. Cliff Chiang all day. I remember reading his Wonder Woman series, and I really, really loved it. He's doing this magazine size 4-issue Catwoman series called Lonely City. It's an alternate future Catwoman after Batman is dead and she's gone to jail for killing him along with several other members of the Bat family. It's really highlighting a lot of the underappreciated villains and almost all the great female characters in the Bat universe. This has been really, really great. I saw this Poison Ivy cover and I was like, hot girl summer getting started early. I really, really loved this and I had to get it. I do wish, I think still that it had a little bit of green in her costume a bit here, but I just love this. I love it all. I'm so about it. I mean, I don't even know that I would call her, I just call her like mature. She's like an older version, right? She's grown up, magazine size, limited series. There's 4 issues. This is issue 3. So there's one more after this. The hardcover comes in November. I read it up today. So sorry for those waiting, but nobody's specking this. You could probably find all the issues at your LCS if you don't mind storing magazine size books. Sorry about that. There's my girl, Sheena. She knows what's up. I just love this series. I love his art. I love his perspective. I love this alternate future. And highlighting Selena, highlighting Two-Face, my all-time favorite Batman villain, as the big sort of Machiavellian guy taking over the city. Barbara Gordon has a great part in it. Like, yes, I'm all about it. So, Lonely City.
I'll have to check that out. I've been hearing a lot about it from the guys. I know I have issue 1. I think I missed issue 2. My shop had like 100 of issue 3 there, so I know I could grab it if I wanted to. I just got so many books. So yeah,
and they're expensive. They're hard to store. I've officially given up on the magazine size monthlies. I'm going to buy hardcovers when I hear they're great. Like everyone's telling me Wonder Woman Historia is gorgeous and amazing. I've decided I'm not buying it. I'm going to get that trade. I'll get that hardcover. I'll enjoy it this way and save the money, save the storage. I can put it on a bookshelf and be perfectly fine with it. Not have to keep it in a box sideways or whatever. So this is probably the last magazine size series I buy in single issue, but I'm happy it's this one.
That's the cross your fingers, right? So until they come out with something else really cool.
Until it's somebody I love like Jeff Lemire or something, then I'm going to have to break my rule.
So my next pick is the conclusion of Crimson Cage from AWA Upshot. I have not read any of these. I have only heard good things about it from my friend AR Comics. But like you, getting them to read all straight, that's my goal. So this was one of those pickups, like I said, what I'm doing with Primos next is what I did with Crimson Cage. And it was also because I'm not a wrestling guy. So I know if I'm not that vested in that kind of scene in general, right, that it would probably not behoove me to try and jump into something on a monthly basis where I might not feel like I'm in, like I'm as invested as other people. So it's something I feel like I'm going to power through a little bit better in that way. So that's why I grabbed all 5.
Totally feel you on that. Absolutely.
All right, I've got 2 left.
I got 2 left. I got a DC and I got an indie. So
all right, you go.
I'm gonna do the book I read second this week. The book that I was knowing I would enjoy a ton is Nightwing. I'm reading Tom Taylor's Nightwing. This one with Wally West. I grew up reading the new Teen Titans, reading that Marv Wolfman series and getting to see these guys get to know each other. They've been friends for so long.
Oh yeah.
And it's fun to see them as grown-ups, and they've got families and they've got lives and things, and getting to see them interact. They at one point they even talk about they're taking down these mercenaries who are well-trained soldiers, but they're laughing about how like we've spent years working together. I know exactly how he operates. I know exactly how to assist him. He knows my weaknesses. I know his weaknesses. There are no mysteries here. You can't possibly best basically the fastest person in the world and one of the best superheroes in the world. You can't best these guys. So it's hilarious just seeing their skills match. So this was a lot of fun. I only read, I said 2.5 books. This was one of the 2, and I really enjoyed it. It's just great. It's just, I mentioned Blue and Gold gives me the nostalgia feels. This is modern DC reading feels. I just really feel good reading this series.
But that's the best way to feel with these situations, in all honesty. So, you're getting what you need from that, and that's really all that matters at the end of the day.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And there's not a lot of Marvel, DC, big publisher books giving me that feel every single month. And Nightwing does it top to bottom.
So this wasn't the second favorite or anything. My number 1 is I'm saving for last, but this was just another one. The Secret History of the War on Weed from Image Comics.
I don't even know
It is
this series.
a one-shot. Yep.
What?
It's I have no idea. I'm going to find out. So
is the title right? The title. I mean, it's a great title.
Yeah. Essentially, from what I understand, is this guy's sent to destroy marijuana, but gets hooked on it. Kind of like from what I understand from the guys, if I remember correctly, when I was on the show Monday, I believe that's the premise. So I grabbed one.
And of course, it comes out on 420, right? This is the marketing ploy. That's so
Exactamundo.
That's hilarious. So now you gotta tell me how that is, because then I'll definitely go back to my shopping.
I'll let you know. Yeah, it's a one-shot, so I felt safe in whatever the journey was going to be. I didn't have to worry about getting into some kind of weird, crazy, anything for the future. I was just like, it's a one-shot. It's 420. I have to celebrate in some way.
Let's make a good have a good laugh about it.
Exactly.
All right, my last book is usually my favorite of any given month when it comes out, but with Lonely City and Nightwing, it was really hard for this one to compete. But I am a mega Philadelphia fan, and love me some Rodney Barnes, love me some Jason Sean Alexander. This cover, I mean, come on. Tituba is one of my favorite characters from history, favorite characters from like the Crucible. What a great story play. And to have her becoming a little bit more of a main character in the Philadelphia universe, this is just great. I love this series, and I'm really looking forward to reading this, but I always try to save it until I'm able to focus completely, because there's a ton going on in this series. It's definitely a lot to keep up with. I'm loving it. So this is issue number 21. God, are they already on 21?
I was gonna say it's 21, I thought. Yeah.
But this may end up being one of my favorite covers they've done. Just lights out.
It is a beautiful cover, 100%. 100%.
So there you go. That is, I've got some Marvel books I'm reading digitally, but nothing that I bought beyond these. And apparently I'm going back to get Relive.
So this was something that not many people got. The Collector, Unit 731. So this is based on, I don't know if you're familiar, but the Japanese during World War II did a lot of tests on people, like replacing organs and cutting off their arms and putting it on their legs. Would they work? Could they reconnect? Putting people in the proximity of landmines and bombs just to see how much damage it would do to one person versus the other. And they did this especially on prisoners, right? And 731 is real. That was a real freaking thing.
What's up, Nicholas? Good to see you.
So this book has been very underordered and isn't totally easy to find for being Dark Horse, respectively. So this is the book that I'm really jonesing to read.
Interesting.
Really jonesing. There was a lot of really, really awful awful human centipede like crap, terrible things that the Japanese did to human beings. That was legit, especially to the Chinese, and you know, Koreans and everybody during the war. They did some pretty heinous stuff.
Wow.
And this was based on that. This is based on that concept. So from what I understand, in I don't think it was the exact present, don't get me wrong, but much time has gone by, and somebody from those experiments, something worked on, and he's very much still alive, and he's coming back for revenge, kind of thing. Ooh. So I'm interested to see where this is going to go. That's my big pick of the week of like story premise, something that sounds uber interesting that I'm going to jump into. That's Dark Horse, and that's this premise. This one sounds pretty dope.
You've hooked Sheena. It sounds like she is all in. Nicholas says the bright colors brought me in. The store is all sold out of cake. Dang stoners. Bought the last Oreo one. There you go. JP says John's going back for like 10 books, but still sticking to 5 a week. I mean, come on. I'm working on it. Next week, as far as I know, I'm at 4 or 5. I'm right in there.
5 on a Wednesday. You know, if he has to go back for another 5 on Thursday,
I go on Tuesday to get the DC books, and yeah, it's he's scattered across the week. It doesn't pop as many warnings on the credit card. All right, let's get back to mine. Yeah, that's it for me as well. Do you have a little time? Do you want to look at books for next week? I know we're over an hour already.
Yeah, I'm good.
So let's throw this up here and let's try. We're tiny. We're down below. We can go line by line and kind of go across looking at the books coming out next week, the 27th, and kind of get a chance to look ahead. Here at the top are a bunch of banger books, a lot of exciting things. I know people are very pumped on that Justice League 75, the death of the Justice League. I know they're killing off a lot of the main characters, setting up a storyline with the second sort of generation taking over. I'm not going to really say I'm interested in that. I'm tired of all the crises, all the DC crises. The only thing in that top row I'm getting is Dark Knights of Steel. That's the only one. Saga I will read in trade like I've always done. So it's really just Dark Knights of Steel for me. What about you?
I mean, honestly, I'll probably grab Saga. Just because I've got the other single issues, and then I probably go to trades after we hit 59. I'll go back to trades if it continues 60 going forward. But in my mind, I don't give a about the death of the Justice League because it'll never stick. It never does.
JP says killing them off for 37 minutes.
Yeah, I'm bored, DC. Thanks.
Yeah.
Because they'll all still have their solo series. Nobody's killing Batman and Superman and all this other disappearing from their single issues, let alone Wonder Woman. You're only female. I'm sorry, guys. No, I'm not buying it. I get that it's going to be cool, and I hope it's cool for some people, but I've never been a huge DC guy anyways, let alone when you just say, we're just going to kill everybody in the Justice League. Are you? For the next 45 minutes, like you said, 37 minutes. I just don't see it. But yeah, otherwise, I've heard tons of great stuff about Dark Knights of Steel. Never cracked an issue, so I can't say.
I think it'd be a great trade read later on. I think it's a speedy read. I'm not in love with the universe for a few different reasons, but I think my daughters are obsessed. So I'm getting it mostly for them, but I'm still enjoying it. It's Tom Taylor. I mean, it's hard to, hate on it or anything. His style is really good. I prefer his in continuity stuff versus his like alternate views of the world kind of stuff.
Dark universe stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So I enjoyed Dark Ages, but I didn't love it versus Nightwing, which is just all the great feels. So, but I gotta read it. So
yeah, absolutely.
So let's see. Line number 2, we got ASM, we got Robin, we got Berserker, we got Joker. Something's Killing the Children is the only one on this line that I'm actually reading, but that's in trade. So this is a line where I'm not buying any of these issues solo, but I know that a lot of people are looking for that last Ronin issue 5.
Yeah. I mean, for me, definitely Something Is Killing the Children, getting it. The Last Ronin, I purposely stopped buying just because, I mean, this 5-issue series started in 2020. Okay, this five, 5-issue series started 2 years ago. I got bored. So, in all honesty, yeah, I know some people are, but man, I'm going to wait for a collection, the trade paperback. I'm not, I just don't give a, I was really invested in the first one. I'm just totally like, I'm almost like mad at them now at this point. I'm just angry. So I don't want to read it. That's my thing. Like I see it, like my shopkeeper's like, Phil, guess what? Last Ronin 5's coming out next week. Finally. I'm like,
that's still a thing.
Yeah, exactly. We're not done with that yet. Like, yeah, I can't. I just can't, man. So I'm out. I tap out on that one. I tap out. Tapping out.
What's up, Travis?
Killing his children all day.
Good to see you, Travis. Yeah. So like, I mean, I read the first 2 issues of Last Ronin. I was really frustrated. They told me who the turtle was in the first issue. I almost was ready to be done with it after the first issue. I'm like, what's the point of having just one turtle survive and keeping it a mystery for a full issue just to tell us? Like, you've got a 5-issue. Let that burn a little. Let that simmer a little bit. You don't need to like serve that right off the bat.
No.
And since then, it just felt very cliched and cheap. So I read 2 issues and I was done with it before they even published the third. I was good.
Yep. Same.
So
same. I got a ton of 1s and 2s. And after that, I'm just like, yeah, this sucks. So I'm out. Tapped out. But yeah, that's it for me. That line for me.
Next line. I know there's some things that people really love on here. For me, I'm reading Monstrous in trade. It's one of the most beautiful books. If you've never read any Monstrous, just grab that first trade and give it a try. Sanaa Takeda, I think is the artist's name. She is an incredible artist. It is gorgeous. So I've always enjoyed reading that in trade. I think I'm 2 trades behind because they're really dense fantasy novels. They almost feel like really high quality adult anime kind of stuff. And I'm not a huge anime guy, but the universe just feels that rich. And then, of course, Ram V's Swamp Thing. I'm getting that. So on this line, that is the one individual issue that I'm picking up.
Is this the last one for Swamp Thing? Or
no, because they upped the order to 16, I believe, issues.
But it was 12, right?
It was 12. I don't know if you know this. So one of the early Punisher miniseries they ever did the same thing where they had the numbering wrong for the first, like it said, 5-issue. And then the last 2 issues say 6-issue miniseries. So now all the Swamp Things will be the same way. The first like 7 or 8 say 12-issue miniseries, 12-issue. And now they all say 16-issue miniseries. Oops.
I liked the White Knight universe kind of situation.
Right.
I have not read Beyond the White Knight #1, but I have it, so I'll probably get the second one. I'm a huge Harley Quinn fan, but I do resort to reading her in trade paperback now. But I have every single Harley. I probably have some kind of mental illness, but I love Harley Quinn. She's 100% there for me.
So that is definitely going to be a popular one. Are you trying this new Punisher out? I hear people liking it. I just skipped it.
I never really was into the Punisher. I'm not going to lie. It's just kind of.
I liked it when it was like Jim Lee doing War Journal when I was a kid in the 90s, but maybe it was late 80s. But I've never really cared beyond then. Sorry, where is it? John didn't like Curse of the White Knight. I liked the original White Knight story. Like I thought it was an amazing trade. It read really, really well. I did not like the sequel one. I didn't care as much. I don't like Thomas Wayne as Batman, and I don't like all the like family stuff, backstory, history stuff. I don't like it as much. So that one turned me off a little bit. I have yet to try getting back in and try some of the others, but I do like the concept. I love Sean Gordon Murphy's art style, although I know he's not drawing as much of it. People are sort of mimicking his style. So I do like the concept in the universe, but that it's hard to best that first trade. It's so good.
And I've enjoyed the first few issues of Alien, but I'm just 100% going digital on that. I've enjoyed Marvel's take on the Alien situation. They've been doing good. Yeah.
All right, then that's that line. The next line, I was reading Deathstroke Incorporated. I thought it was kind of fun and funny, but I've gone to digital on that. There's a really great, funny variant to issue like 5 where it's like him riding a unicorn. Hilarious. I had to buy that issue. I was very pumped on that. But so that's one I'm reading digitally. Sabretooth, I'm reading that digitally because it's an X book. I'm always trying to keep up. But that's it for me on this line. A lot of DC Marvel stuff here, except for Gunslinger Spawn. Anything you're looking forward to?
It's a no for me, Bob.
Right.
Negative. That's a negative.
I get it. It's not a strong line. Not a strong line there.
Harley White Knight series is amazing. Yes, 100%.
I hear that. I hear that. Let's see here. On this line, I'm buying a book on this line, and it's not the X book. I'm buying New Burn, issue 6, because Chip Zdarsky is writing a really great detective noir book, and I freaking love it. If you haven't tried New Burn out, folks, there's a trade. I think it's the first 5 issues or 4 issues, and it's just been a lot of fun, and Chip Zdarsky's great, so you should check it out. I'll read Knights of X, but it looks like it's just continuing Excalibur, which was my least favorite X book, so I'm not really excited about that.
That stinks.
And yourself?
So I have 3 on that list.
What?
I do. Number 1, I do have Rogues on that list.
Okay.
I've enjoyed that. Rogues has been fun. So yes, down and dirty on Rogues.
Sounds like officially and TM Nerdy agreeing with you on that one.
New Burn, I'm there with you as well too, but I'm probably gonna go trade paperback if it's gonna be an ongoing series. So I'm gonna have to find out about that. But We Have Demons. We Have Demons is fucking great. That was a book I read last month, and I was shocked at how much I loved a first issue. We Have Demons, I am all about. That's going to be an A cover, B cover, C cover, D cover, whatever covers my shop gets, I'm getting. I was very impressed. So We Have Demons, number 2, that is happening. I agree 100% TM Nerdy. I'm there with you, homie. Yes.
So when I go to my shop to get We Live, because I forgot it, you have to remind me to find We Have Demons issue 1. I'm going to say, hey, what was that book? And you're going to have to say We Have Demons.
It was a good, thick read, man. It was very good. I think Sheena would second me on that, maybe, perhaps. But I know Inja was just reading it recently. But I think a few of them might have read it with us during the show. But it was very good, dude. I recommend that.
Well, I'm very excited about that. Awesome.
This next line too, I can already see it.
I was gonna say there's some good stuff here on this next line, but the only thing that I am for sure buying a copy of is Step by freaking Bloody Step. I love this series. Almost no dialogue and a riveting Cy Spurrier story. So I'm all about. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I miss Mama? Sorry.
You missed Mama. I said hi.
Good to see you, Lucy. Yeah, thank you for doing that. So that's the only one I'm for sure buying. I heard great things about the Grand Designs Hulk that Jim Rugg is doing, but that might be something I read in trade because I do enjoy the Grand Design series.
I've heard that it was the best thing about that was the paper it was printed on for Marvel. As far as quality goes, but otherwise, I mean, I don't know. I've never been that huge on Hulk anyways. Rogue Sun, I am there for. I love the first 2 issues. I am in on this new Image connected Radiant Black universe that we are building out. Supermassive was a tremendous introduction of Rogue Sun. I dig it. I love it. I'm there for it. And so that's happening. Step by Bloody Step, I'm enjoying. So, I'm going to get it. But yeah, that's it for me on that line.
Nice.
But Rogue Sun and Step by Bloody Step, I'm there for it.
Trial of the Amazons fan. I have not tried any of that, but I generally wait until somebody tells me it's amazing, and then I try that trade or check it out and trade. All right, on this line, nothing for me. A lot of stuff that I'm kind of, and then there's a book called Blood Stained Teeth, #1 from Image that I might just try out. I don't know yet. And anything pique your interest here?
I'm going to try Bloodstained Teeth, and I'm also going to get Ghost Cage #2. I still have issue 1. I haven't gotten to read it yet, but I've heard nothing but tremendous things about it.
Nice.
So I'm going to get that in some faith.
Awesome. Now we're getting into the stuff that I definitely am less interested in. So nothing for me on this line. Transformers, G.I. Joe, Cowboy Bebop.
No, I might do Cowboy
Rangers.
Bebop, but I'm pretty much out of that. You know, I might. I'm a Cowboy Bebop fan, but we'll see. We'll see. But the rest of it, no.
Okay.
It's the no for me.
I know you're a fan of the Fourth Man, I think, from AWA. So that's dropping in this next line, but I got nothing on this line. I'm waiting on the trade for that Fourth Man.
So I am there 100% for the Fourth Man. I'm also there for Draculina. Just enjoying that. But that's really pretty much it for me there. I was doing the Mirka Andolfo Red Sonja series.
Okay.
But I kind of tapped that out for issue 4.
Okay. Let's see here. We got another AW on this line with Hotel, which I hear good things about. I have not read any of that, but that is the only thing that in any way piqued my interest here.
Yeah, that's going to be the same for me.
All right.
Yep.
Nothing on this line, but a crazy Vermilion Zero cover. And that is nothing that I'm going to pick up.
Harbinger #7. I'll probably get.
Valiant.
Probably not sure. I'm reading Harbinger. I think I'm the only person I know that's reading it. But I'm going to keep on. We'll keep on keeping on.
It's funny. Both of the guys that I've done new comic book shows with, big Valiant fans, and I've never cracked the surface of that.
It's all right. It's all right.
It's clearly a nostalgia kick I just never had.
Very true.
Of course, Aftershocks bylines in Blood issue 4. I'm getting that, but that's all I've got on this line with some Usagi, but I read that in collected editions too.
Yeah, I'm going to wait to hear anything else on bylines in Blood. I've got the other 3 issues, but I'm just going to stop buying things to buy them. Right. So I'm out on that one.
Okay. TJ, good to see you. He's watching Lock and Key. Well, enjoy that. Get into that
nice.
Lock and Key. Hope you're enjoying it, man. Let's see here. Nothing for me on this line, but a new Aftershock book called Naughty List. But nothing else I'm getting.
So 100% in on Robots versus Zombies versus Robots Classic #2.
Okay.
The first one was fun. Naughty List I might want to check out. I don't know a lot about it, but I'll probably check it out just because Aftershock and AWA are so consistent when it comes to indie storytelling,
right,
and character development. I feel that I have the space emotionally to take a leap of faith in a book I don't know about, but it's from that publisher. I would feel comfortable jumping in on it.
I'm just mentioning books I'm curious about, JP, but I promise you I've only got 4 or 5 I'm guaranteed to buy.
Yeah.
But there's definitely some indies that are like, maybe I try it out. Kind of like he's saying with Naughty List. Is that it for you then?
Yeah, that's all I had, those 2.
And
Sorry.
I don't see anything on this line for me. There's a Boom Studios, The Killer Arts of the Affair of the State. I don't know.
Yeah. So I've got the first 2 episodes of that, first 2 issues of that. I might wait until I read them to see whether or not I'll get 3. But yeah, that would be it for me.
Okay. And now we're really getting into this part of the list where I don't have any of these things.
I don't see anything on there for me.
All right. And same here for me. There's a Source Point, but I'm not reading Touching Evil.
No.
All right. Scrolling on down, and we're pretty much at the end here.
We're getting from Nope to Hella Nope.
Right.
Pretty fast.
And
so let's go. Yeah, I'm Happy Hill is actually pretty good. Okay. Which line was that? Was that up another line?
Yeah, that was up here. Where is it? Let's see how far behind we are. There it is. Happy Hill Comics Tribe. There's issues 3 and 4.
Comics Tribe. Yeah, I have not gotten to read that, Mama. So
there you go.
I'll have to check it out.
All right. Well, I'm going to stop sharing because we've been going on for almost an hour and a half, and I don't want to take too much of everybody's nights. But that's a little look at next week's books and kind of what we are thinking about grabbing for next week. Any last thoughts you want to share before we duck out of here? No time for Moon Knight, but maybe we'll get to that soon enough.
I didn't get to see the latest episode yet anyway, so I'll have something to talk about next time. I'm great night as always, my friend. It's an honor and a pleasure coming and hanging out. Getting to see how you do things so professionally here on your show. I'm gonna have to step up my game. I'm gonna have to get like a theme song and an intro before the next time we talk.
Next week he's gonna have a ton of bells and whistles.
I'm gonna work on it, man. You have no idea. Get my whole team working on it. And go from there. But no, I it's just an honor and I appreciate it. Had a great time as always. And yeah, next time you're ready, just let me know. I'm here.
Dude, I'm very happy to be doing these shows with you. And like I mentioned before we went live, it's been great getting to know you. And I just feel like this has been a lot of fun, both Instagram and over here on YouTube. So Absolutely. Be ready, folks. You gotta hit the notification bells and subscribe to both channels. They're linked down below, his Instagram and his YouTube, because you just don't know where we're going to be next time we roll live.
Absolutely. And yes, anybody who subscribes, thank you. It's not just my mom and dad then anymore, and John. So that would be nice. And of course,
you're almost to 100 subs already, man. I think it was 90. I think you were somewhere in the 90s.
What? 90? I thought I was like in the 70s or something. I gotta look again.
I don't know.
I gotta look again. Let me take a look. This is gonna be like
this is the most exciting thing. I'm gonna
yeah, it's probably still in that area, but we're gonna find out real quick.
I thought it was 88 this morning when I copied the link. Oh, and see, already got some subscribers right there.
90 subscribers.
Woo-woo!
There we go.
Boom.
So yeah. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. I'm going to be a big streamer when I grow up. It's like, God.
I want to be a YouTuber when I grow up.
I want to be a YouTuber. One day I'll get there. I'll get there eventually. I've been trying to catch up ever since Mama brought me onto YouTube. Mama was the first person to bring me onto YouTube. Mama Comic. I was lucky enough to meet Lucy in person because she used to work at a shop out near my dad in the desert. So it was nice. I walked into a shop and Lucy was like, "Do I follow you on Instagram?" And I was like, "I think I follow you on Instagram." And then we started talking about books and taking pictures, and it was hilarious. We got together. We weren't even talking comics. It was scary stuff. So it was her ghost stories show.
Oh yes,
yeah.
From her, wasn't she in her closet telling those like with her like?
I don't remember. I don't remember. I just remember we were just getting into it, and I was reliving some serious trauma from my childhood. So yeah,
so good.
Yeah, it was totally different to what I've done ever since on YouTube. These stories I haven't even told my kids. So it was way back.
So good. Well, Lucy, we love you and we're appreciative of you coming by. And look, TJ says he's going to make that 91. So boom, there you go.
Thank you so much, TJ. Appreciate you guys.
Making dreams happen here. That's what it's all about. So again, hit that notification bell because we will be back at some point on his channel. So be ready for all that and all the bells and whistles that he's clearly promised you he is going to create.
Oh man, now I've actually got to do that, don't I? I've got lights, man. Look, okay, so my room.
I want you to do it live. I want you to like have like flashing lights and like glow sticks and just like make the noises.
Maybe I can get like some pyrotechnics, like a
beatbox it. Yeah, I'm ready for the whole thing.
Oh shit!
Thanks everybody. I appreciate it, and we will see you back here again soon, man. Bye.
Good night.